Hey folks, welcome to the stream and welcome to more mind-numbing modding. Yay! Decided to show my face for a change today. Hey folks, noticed that my key spill color reduction thing is doing some interesting stuff. If I put my hand here, for some strange reason it turns to be black and white. I just don't know why that's happening. Who knows? Hey Nathan Wallace. Hello Jason Vlogs. Right, let's take a look and see what I was doing, because I can't remember. Which probably isn't very helpful.
Hello.
Hello. Hobbs is here too.
Yeah, I turned up.
He's doing some... That key colour spill reduction is going. You're gonna have to fix it.
Is half your face disappearing?
But the face is staying there, but it's routinely going black and white every couple of seconds. And I don't know why.
It's revealing you in your true form.
Maybe that's what's happening, yeah. Maybe if I move it down to here? Oh god, I've turned pink. Nope, that's okay. That's not okay. That's okay. That's not okay. What the fucking hell?
How peculiar.
It is. It must be something to do with the light. That's fine. I'm gonna deal with it.
I know something I can do.
Do you?
I can change that picture, that standby picture.
Good.
Let's do that. Oh, for God's sake.
Maybe I should just turn key colour spill reduction off. Sorry, you don't mind me going black and white occasionally, do you? A bit of sepia. Right, let's take a look. Let the randoms go mad. Jason says, I'm so happy that this is happening again. Yeah, me too. I'm glad we managed to resolve most of the problems we were having. Cup of tea. I think part of the problem with this key colour spill reduction is usually I've got some lighting over there. And the additional thing that I use for lighting over there, I've actually had to move into my lounge. So that's probably the reason behind my lighting going crazy. You're in there, Hobbs.
Yes.
You're an in-demand man today, aren't you?
I've got an electrician, a broadband engineer, and a plumber coming around today at various times. And it's just like juggling everything at once.
This genuinely sounds like low budget porno.
This is like, if I take the day off, I can try and do everything at once.
Well, you've actually worked it out quite well then. Usually you can't win, can you?
No. No, winning is not my bag normally.
Right, so last night, Hobbs made me a thing, which I'm going to be using in part today, a little Photoshop document, which is going to allow me to make some new iconography for the minor race abilities. Yay. I'm looking forward to that immensely.
Which channel did Connor post this thing in?
I think you put it in the AOTF channel for some reason.
I can't find it anywhere.
Hang on. I thought it was up there in AOTF. Nope, I was wrong. Is it in It Broke 2 Electric Boogaloo? No. AOTF beta chat, maybe? No. Armada 3 either. STA 3 discussion towards the bottom? No. What the bloody hell is it? I don't know.
He put it in artwork and models.
Of course he did.
Like a fool.
Right.
Right. let's do this quickly then.
Do you know one thing that we never notice in this particular version?
What?
The what's it called? The little EP probe thing.
EP probe?
Is that what it's
Oh, the
called?
Echo Papa thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're quite cool. I think that was the first model I made for Stellar Parallax. It was actually put in something.
It may well have been, yeah. Oh, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do some of the Orion Shipbreakers things. Yeah, that should be fun. Factions folder. There it is.
I cannot remember what this texture's called that I need to replace.
Regan Lagman says, is this available on Steam? Well, Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion is available on Steam, yes. The mod is available for free via something called ModDB. We're still working on the next version at the moment. It'll be a couple of weeks until I'm done, I think. Nice cup of tea. Right, so what I want to find is something that sells a ship. Is it going to be minor faction buy? No.
I think it is, because I think it's them buying the ship off you. If I remember reading the code, I think it's something stupid like that.
Sell capital ship phase scout and sell frigates anti-fighter. So, right, if we take this one, copy, we'll paste it in here, and then we'll have a look at it. One ship's a planet. Yeah.
Oh, we have so many texture files.
We do.
Not as many as we did.
No, not nearly. About 3,000 less.
Yeah, that'll do.
He's nice. Oh, I'm sorry, Khan. Uncanny watch.
Loading splash TGA, that's what I need to replace.
Capital ships, yep, required ship slots, that's fine. So that would be specifically for capital ships, and I don't know if I want... Do we want to sell capital ships?
I don't think anybody would.
No, I mean, do we want the Orion Shipbreakers to sell us capital ships?
Oh, I see what you mean.
And if so, what capital ship? I think it's mostly going to be cruisers.
Yeah, it would have to be a pretty weak capital ship. And aren't they all coded to be ridiculously slow?
No. I can make specific versions if needs be anyway. So it's not,
Yeah.
It's just a matter of copying the entity file and changing the ship's max speed.
Okay, that's that picture swapped over, so I'll push that.
Well, in that case, let's go sell frigates anti-fighter, copy. And we'll have a look at this one instead. See how it works. Now the next question is, are we looking to sell 1? Or are we looking to sell 7? That's the question. I think small fleets maybe might be a good thing. Like 2 or 3 ships.
A little
from a
mini
particular
flotilla.
I think that could work. Right, so this will become MF. Ability Orion Shipbreakers. Purchase. And what's the first lot that we're going to do? I think purchasing outdated Fed ships might be a fun. That's what this is called. This is going to have a whinge now. No, don't reload that, but load it here. That. Let's get rid of that. If I take a look at the Galaxy scenario def now. Come down here. Now, I'm pretty sure the thing that people are going to want more than anything else, I think it's going to be the Connie, isn't it?
Most likely, yeah. And maybe some of the Miranda variants.
So what we'll do is we'll make the Connie the most likely ones. And then Saratoga, maybe?
Yeah, that's a good one. And the Soyuz, maybe? Do we have a Soyuz?
Yes. Soyuz and Saratoga, that works for me. This is the Connie refit at this point, it would be. If people want to see what Oblington is putting in now, so it was in artwork.
Yes, I'm doing
Where does artwork live?
Artwork lives in the .texture folder.
No. I mean it in Discord. Artwork and models, there it is. So this is going to be the new loading screen for Uprising, which shoots me down to the ground.
It's everything you want in a picture, isn't it?
It
A
really is.
glorious galore, and a Bajoran getting shot at.
Yeah, that'll teach him. Yeah, so I'm quite happy with that one.
That's in and pushed now.
Oh, thank you.
What?
Oh, there's a spawn ship's hyperspace spawn time from factories. How useful. Means they'll just plop out from any factories that you have in the particular zone.
Oh, that's quite cool. Better than them always appearing
At the edge of the gravity well. I'm going to leave the resources as they are. I'll need to balance them afterwards. Other than that, there's nothing in the short term I need to do for this particular ability. So there's your Federation one. Let's copy it and paste it. Name this one to. Oh, we've got outdated Federation ships. It would be unsurprising for the for the Orions to poke around in ship graveyards and grab things. So I think we'll stick with older, maybe outdated ships that have been decommissioned. What about Tellarian ships? The Gentac.
Which one's a Gentac?
You've got the Gentac police frigate. They both look like Star Destroyers with sprues on them.
Yeah, I know the one.
So I think maybe they're going to be the way forward for one of the abilities. Having said that, they've got that awful explodey thing, haven't they? The Telcat.
Yeah.
Playing on D7s? We've got Katingas, we haven't got D7s. Although they're technically the same model, it's just one's updated and the other one is. But we could also think about, okay, what are the rarest ships that we have that aren't seen as often as we might like? Things like the Idril ships aren't very well represented, even though they're there. We don't have old school Romulan birds of prey. One thing that we can't do, Nathan, is we're not putting new models in if we can avoid it in any way. So it's going to be stuff that's already in STA3. Shellyak vessels? Mind you, the Shellyak are quite powerful, aren't they?
Yeah, they're quite strong.
And I don't think they would give up their vessels. I think they'd probably blow them up rather than allow them to be taken. And given how grumpy they are.
So what have you got on the list so far?
Just the outdated Federation ships, and now I'm doing a different ability with another group of ships.
Let's just have a look at the list. What have we got?
Oh, of course they'd sell their own ships, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
We'll go for purchase pirate ships. Now, there are only two ship types in this one. Which are the Cutlass and something else. Cutlass and Rapier. Whoop. So we'll grab those. And then we'll remove additional one. Oh no, still three. That'll work. Where did you get that music from? I'm using something called Epidemic Sound Paradise. And I've chosen an 80s theme to listen to while I do some modding. Just because I can, really. Will Section 31 have new ship types or the same ones as the Feds? Yeah, the same ones as the Feds. They have access to particular ship types that the Feds do. We've gone for the idea that they're primarily going to be quick strike ships. And, of course, the more advanced one that the Federation has access to, things like additional Defiant classes, the Prometheus, stuff like that. I keep coming back to the Idril.
Right, let's load up the Idril so I can remember, because my memory is not what it once was.
They're kind of brown ships that are shaped a little bit like the Bajoran symbol from above. And they've got purple nacelles from what I remember.
Idril cruiser.
And they're not all that highly represented in random maps. Also, they're not bad.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, they're quite cool.
Well, I suppose I could have one that is just minor ships. So we could have like the Idril cruiser. We could have maybe the Talcat one. And alright, let's copy this first. While we're thinking, get the architecture ready.
Oh, maybe the crabby one.
Ooh, yeah, that's good.
The Miradon Raider.
Miradon Raider, yeah.
Yeah, I like them. They're cool.
purchase salvaged, non-aligned ships, is what I'm going to...
Why not, indeed?
Should be able to find. I know you're is. Oh, for some reason, Idril has been spelt with a Y incorrectly.
Oh.
In the Galaxy scenario def. Nice.
That's interesting. That's probably why we don't see it all.
No, it's alright in the spawn listings from the looks of things.
Oh, okay.
Now, I have a feeling... Yeah, M Frigate Crabby is the Miradorn Raider, because it looks like a crab.
Standard.
That's max naming conventions at their best.
Well, I just spent 5 minutes trying to find the Klingon military starbase, because for some reason it's called Klingon _ outpost, and all the others have the word starbase in the name. It's like, where is it?
That's interesting. Is it the Tai Gokor?
No, it's kind of like it's the basically what the Nemesis station is.
That is not the Klingon starbase. That is the Klingon outpost. It's like the trade variant. The proper Klingon starbase is the Tai Gokor.
Are we talking AOTF or are we talking SDA3?
Oh, okay. I'll shut up.
Because we're going to get very confused.
Yeah. All right. I'll shut my pile. I thought about the Tamarian minor faction, but I didn't know what they do. The minor factions that I'm trying to put in, I'm trying to give them some form of purpose from an ability point of view. And I didn't know what the Tamarians would do. Hang on, what are those? Who are the guys with the plague ship?
Terrellian.
Terrellian. T-A-R-E?
Tarellian.
We haven't got in the Galaxy scenario, Def, which is...
I think it's a event, isn't it? Random event.
There are Tellarian defenders as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Talarian is the way they've spelt it.
Oh, well, that's incorrect. Unless the ship is used for something else.
M-Cruiser Talarian warship. Yeah, there's a Talarian warship and a Talarian plague ship. So we'll use the Talarian warships for the third one. I think
Terrellian is the plague. Talarian is the ones who had the suicide kamikaze ships when they were at war with the Federation, and they kidnapped that.
No minor factions are playable, Nisa. Minor factions are factions that you encounter and that you can interact with in a special way. In fact, I'll show you shortly. Let's go to gameplay constants, find the Orion minor, there now. And there we go. So let's put those abilities into the Orion minor faction, the Orion shipbreakers. They're there. They're there.
They're there.
put them in here. Loop. There they are. Entity manifest, we need to put them in here as well. I've given the Borg the ability to break down frigates as well. So if you've got some kind of like low-level frigates that you don't want anymore, you can take them to the Borg Cooperative's world, and they will use their nanites to break down the ships for a for a greater percentage of credits than you would otherwise get from simply scuttling them.
What do they disassemble them with again?
Nanites.
Oh dear.
Because they haven't got any lasers.
Lasers.
Freeman's Mighty Scimitar Warbird. I think that might be a little bit broken if we allowed that to be sold to any faction, given that it's a Titan.
Could you imagine?
That sounds like something Max might do.
Yeah. Bless the max balance.
Right, I'll show you what minor factions do and what they are now, because people were wondering if they were playable.
Does require the DLC.
It does. DLC is cheap.
It is less than £5.
Also, there are fairly regular sales for Ironclad stuff, aren't there?
Yeah.
So what are you working on at the minute?
I am doing the Klingon Starbase pictures that appear in the bottom left of the screen when you click on them.
Okay. I'd like to have a look at some point if you don't mind me doing so.
I will share my screen.
Might just pop over occasionally, so don't do anything incriminating on there.
I'll try not to.
Just open this up, make it big. The screen quality isn't going to be amazing, folks, and I do apologise for that. It's because I'm looking at Hobbs' screen via Discord. The quality isn't as good as it would be just looking at my screen. Looking good. Klingon Logi.
Yeah, so all these pictures appear in the bottom left once you click on a structure, just to give it a bit of extra flavour.
I do really like the sector control station. One of my favourites.
Which one was... Oh, this one.
Yeah, it's the one with the downward pointing spikes. I think there's something that looks
Yeah.
really quite cool about that one.
That's a good one.
I can see why you struggle with the My Dujmat yard.
Yeah. It's a bit...
That's the Klingon Titan factory in AOTF, by the way,
Yeah.
folks.
Little D7's being built.
Yeah, I wouldn't have enjoyed cutting that out either, so I can appreciate that. Good. And we find the Orion shipbreakers. Hopefully one of them will have spawned on this map. You look, Orion. So what you need to do when it comes to minor factions is if we go to, say, spawn entity, active player, frigate, federation, and I think it's P for their envoy. Yeah, there you go. So you get the envoy, you cast Goodwill on one of their worlds that you are around. Now, they will try and kill anything that belongs to you until you have control over them. This guy's going to prevent that because he is going to be an envoy to that world. Boop! There we go. It has become ours.
Yoink.
Now, what we can now do is we can click on the planet itself, And based on the theory that we've got enough fleet supply points and enough cash, we can take one of these. Now, I haven't made the strings for them yet, so let's just click on the middle one. Boop. That belongs to us. We have purchased a ship. Same would be true. Archon Heavy Raider there. And, more importantly, we now have control of a Connie refit.
Oh my god.
Now, there are ways that you can level up these abilities. There is a Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. I haven't coded in that research yet, but it's going to be going here, probably. In foreign relations. And you'll have 2 upgrades that you can do in order to increase the veracity of these abilities. What? Effect volume. Send this Connie off to have a fight with someone, shall we? Or Skunty? Yeah, that sounds good. Aiden says 12 minutes past 3 AM. Should really be in bed. Damn, buddy. Yeah, you should. Aiden, I'm doing well, thank you. How about yourself? God, I love the Connie refits so much.
I think one of the biggest comments we got with Nemesis and TFF was, how do I spawn these things? So this should give players a bit more the ability to get some of the ships that otherwise are quite random. It's a lot of chance based on whether the right shipyard would spawn, and then that you could get to that part of the map and capture it rather than the enemy. Right. Whereas this will give you a bit more. And
it was a fairly low spawning profusion even to begin with, whereas minor factions are a much higher spawning profusion, especially on large maps.
Yeah, so you should be able to grab some of your favourites.
Oh, where is all the tea gone?
Where is all the tea?
I did also look at the zoom in, zoom out jibber jabby. You know, I was whinging about that the other day.
Zoom in and zoom out jibby jabby.
Yeah, you know, when you're zooming out to a galactic scale from a planet, there comes a point where you get the little ring around your planet, which allows you to see how many ships you've got, how many stations there are, yakety schmackety. Now, I had a look at that, and I think that's based on the overall size of the gravity well, which means I can't actually change that. Unless I change the size of the gravity well, which would necessitate me changing the size of the planet. Can't be asked. So,
CBA.
That's going to have to stay as it is. It's disappointing because I wanted everything to pop up at once. I think I've got my ship set on slow. It's taking a sweet time.
Do we give the Klingon starbases and AOCF Klingony names? Can't remember. Can't be bothered to launch the game.
I think we did, yeah. I mean, I don't know about you, but I put a load of marshmallows in my mouth and just spoke. Pew, 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 pew. Oh, I love TMP phases. And if I turn this up enough, you guys will... Let's turn that up to about there. It's probably going to blow your ears out. Sorry, folks. As you can probably see, it's not really any more powerful than the Nausicaan Light Raider. So these aren't amazingly good ships by any stretch of the imagination. They haven't got a lot of hull either. Is the Connie refit? Oh god. Press the bad button. Press cinematic mode and the game's just gone nope.
Hella nope. Hayden, that's Hayden's asked about just wondering, is it possible for you guys to put a higher priority on individual ships to bring it more in line with TV? Blobbing is boring.
That's something that's happening in AOTF. In STA 3, that won't happen because the amount of coding investment based on balance, basically the investment of time that we would have to give, is
the
prohibitive.
era of STA 3 we see in DS9 large, massive fleet combat, so that's something that's kind of integral to that mod. But AOTF being set earlier in the timeline means that we can actually put a lot more focus on individual ships, so that's something that when the AOTF comes out you'll notice a massive difference between massive lobby fleets and actually going, right, I need to pick which actual ship I need to supplement my fleet.
That's right, yeah. You know, you'll have no interest whatsoever, but I'm going to tell you anyway. The Enterprise A was actually a different refitted Constitution than the Enterprise refit. Different ship entirely, because the Enterprise refit, the original one that looked like this, it got destroyed.
Get out of there!
Right. There we go. So, the long and short of that little fight that was going on is, it works.
You got distracted by the pretties, didn't you?
I did. There's just something about TMP stuff. Right, so we've got Orion on the trot now. Take a look at the gameplay constants. I need to put something in a Gorn Miner faction as an ability. Now, let's see what we've got to work.
Oh, I'm gonna have to launch the game.
See what the colonise bonus is. Off Miner faction colonise bonus on ship. Let's take a look and see what that is.
Oh no, they've just got names. Economic outpost,
Oh, my
scientific
stomach is
outpost.
going mental. Whoa!
Have you fed it today?
I've just got proper rumblies going on there. I haven't fed it yet today, no.
It's like lunch.
I will do later. I toyed with the idea of having crumpets earlier, but I decided not to. And clearly my body is now regretting that decision. It's because I had soup at like 3 this morning when I couldn't sleep. I felt guilty about having food in the morning.
Soup is good.
Well, actually the soup I had wasn't that great. It was chicken broth and, well, chicken noodle broth.
No, okay.
And I don't know, I thought I'd like it based on the idea of it. I like noodles and I like chicken, so I thought that was going to work out for me, but it wasn't expecting. And I've got like 6 cans of it to eat, so
Yeah. Oh dear.
I'll get through them. I haven't got a lot of money and I get hungry, so they're going to get eaten. But I do also have some tomato soup.
Tomato soup's good.
I did find the Connie refit to be a vast improvement over the base design. I agree. I think the Connie refit is beautiful, whereas the original Connie, while it's got its place in history, I didn't really find it that attractive. Yeah, that was a cool torpedo frigate. I liked that one, Hayden. That was cool. Hayden sent me a video the other day with a kind of almost an off-cut constellation.
Okay.
So if you think of the constellation with its top two warp nacelles cut off,
Yeah.
and then a like an enlarged version of the torpedo of the I suppose what they're called modular torpedo section on the Miranda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just one of those with a single sprue from below attaching it rather than the roll bar.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it actually looked pretty cool. It was an interesting TMP design that I enjoyed.
I've seen a cool. It was a
What's up, Carlos? How you doing, man?
O-berth
Yeah.
with the secondary hull removed and a torpedo pod there, which looked quite funky.
It's interesting. An actually useful O-berth. 3:21 AM says Carlos. Time to pack for surfing. A madman. Yeah, we've got some warm clothes. It's bloody cold where you are right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's called the Jester variant. It's got like a cool little torpedo pod at the bottom, which I think would make a cool long-range frigate cruiser type thing. Yeah, ridiculously weak, but as a standoff, long distance ship.
Well, sometimes that can work, can't it? Alright, usable once, all time. 600 seconds. 600 seconds on any new. Alright, so, here we've got the Gorn Meridor traders on the trot. As a minor faction. What I'm thinking of doing is having one ability which gives them a bonus for a limited amount of time on colonization. Which I think should be fun. And this one will work as its base. I do want another one which does it to already existing colonies as well. I'll have to do that individually. But yeah, let's take these. Quite pleased that I can reuse a lot of these abilities from the base. Otherwise it would take a long time for me to do these. There are some I have to make specifically, but... Alright, stomach, settle down. I'll go ahead and put some art of the ship in Discord if you want, guys. Yeah, feel free. By the way, we do have two Discord things that I would like you to join. One is my own. There is a link in the description below. And the other one is the Stellar Parallax channel. I'll do another invite. I do this all the time. I should probably just have a consistent link, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
That's the Stellar Parallax. Wanted to say ModDB there, but that's not the case. Discord, and that is for our modding group in general. So you'll be able to see things from AOTF, STA3, or anything else that we ever do.
It's also very Trek focused as well.
Yeah,
so you can,
a lot of Trek lovers.
Pop in there and talk your Trek, get your Trek fix there.
Okay.
And we try and just post a bit more regular updates of how the progress of the mods are going, and
We do, yeah.
screenshots. You can have a chat with us, see what you think.
There you go. This manufacturing ability is going to be called Welcome Party Supplies from the Gorn Meridor Traders. And that's going to get your population growth rate going mad because everybody's making poor life decisions. I think I need to explain why, do I? Oh shit! You know what I've done? No, delete those.
What have you done or not done?
Don't worry about it.
He broke a thing.
Everything's fine.
Everything is awesome when you're part of a team.
Oh, check if my I just put my mobile phone on charge. I've got some family coming over later, so it would be polite of me to be able to answer the phone. I'm sure you would concur.
Yeah, they get like that, don't they?
Paste that in there. Go to get rid of this. Gameplay constants. Put that on the Gorn line of action. There you go, and pick some vids. Right, I'll actually show this to the fellas. So this is the ship that Hayden's talking about. Alright, let's turn that music off.
Is this the Abbey?
Yeah. It does actually have a slight extension in the engineering hull as well. Pretty brief, but I actually quite like it.
Oh, it's quite long, isn't it?
Yeah. I would actually foreshorten the engineering hull a little bit. I would.
Yeah, I'd have. What I would do is have the section that connects to the upper torpedo pod. I'd bring that forward quite considerably. Maybe put a shuttle bay behind.
But in the arsehole, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, it's. I think the reason that they've extended it rearwards so much is so that they could have some kind of proportions, which allowed for the nacelles to be moved backwards as well. Because if the nacelles were too far forwards and they were so close to the saucer section, it might look a little bit wonky.
Right, my doorbell's going, so I will be right back.
Okay. Either way, it looks like quite a cool ship. I do like it. Yeah, see, it looks nice from this position, and I think if the nacelles were further forward, then that might ruin the proportions from this viewpoint. I don't know. Only working. Yeah, and there's it from the front, which is again quite quite visually pleasing as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, not bad. Thanks, Aiden. Let's get out of that. Right, let's see what we're still lacking. We've got the Gorn welcome party supplies there. We need to put them in the entity map. Things. One oh three. Right, check and test, check and test, check and test. What's the great girl gonna stuff up today? Maybe nothing. I don't know, we'll see. I show you guys a new, or rather old ship, and you picking it apart. Sorry, Hayden. That is something that modders will pretty much always do, especially if they love Trek. They'll pick apart ships, even canon ships. We've talked about ships so much. One of the ships that often has been argued about quite highly is the. Oh shit! It was the one that was made with Biros. It was one of the Wolf 359 ships. I don't want to say Centaur because that Challenger? No, it's not Challenger either. That's what they say. I think. I've got to know. Cheyenne. Yeah, the Cheyenne we've argued about quite a lot. And the thing that we've primarily argued about is its relative size. Memory beta, because it's been argued that from the rear, some depictions of it have damn thing's called shuttle bays in here, in some variants of it. Now, if they have shuttle bays, then surely these windows wouldn't be appropriate given the overall size of the ship. And there's no strict cannon size of the Cheyenne. See, this doesn't display any shuttle bay. Oh, what's this? Okinawa class. Yeah. Oh, there she is. Beauty. Love the constellations. Anyhow. Sorry. Distracted. Love to see... Oh, Prey Partisan, I'd love to see a Nebula-like variant of the Ambassador. Would you want to see a science pod or a weapons pod atop it, though? That's the question. Did you see the new Jojo class in Star Trek Online? Yeah, get me a couple of photos of it, and I will critique it heavily. Anything from Star Trek Online elicits a lot of critiquing from us. Sometimes good, often bad. Which is very unreasonable and unfair of us. See that that's there. Colonial supplies. Yep. Alright, Gore Meridor traders now have an ability. Happy with that. There's more to do. I haven't got one for the Kecak as of yet. Haven't got one for the Hirogen. Hirogen's going to be a simple hunting party, which is going to be fine. Although, I'm going to hold my hands up and say there are things I like about Discovery. I like the soundscape of Discovery. I've probably said this multiple times. When you're inside the ship, the little soundscape that goes on, like particularly inside the bridge, it's nice. And I also like the internal visuals of the bridge. Their consoles are really pretty. The console displays, I should say. Not the consoles themselves, but the console displays are attractive. Alright, let's take a look at this Jojo class. Also, thanks to ZDF Films Productions for this video. If you have a problem with me displaying this on my channel, then please do let me know. I will remove it. Okay, I'm not hating it. Z fighting! Z fighting! More Z fighting over there. Well, this seems to be a kind of TMP-ified, or maybe a Lost Era-ified version of the Walker class. And I don't hate it. I don't hate that at all. I don't like the impulse engines as they stand. I think they should be reduced in overall size. But in the great scheme of things, I like that. I also don't think it needs these little torpedo pods, maybe. I don't think it needs those. I think you could remove those, reduce the size of the impulse engines, and yeah, it's okay. I actually like that. I particularly like this little lower hull segment. That's cool, with a little torpedo. Yeah, the front of the nacelles are a little bit weird. But, no, I think we've glossed over that. That's not too bad. Yeah, okay. Don't hate that. I think I've got a Walker class, actually, in Stowe. Thank you to the community. I didn't get it myself. Somebody got it for me. So, you guys! You guys! I've also got a Vengeance class. which I really like. Probably shouldn't admit that, because I know Max will... Max will be kind of like rolling around in his seat. Just he'll feel something in the ether, knowing that I've said something positive about 2009-esque stuff. Hobbs, I can see you working. Why have you gone all quiet? Hobbs is sick of our shit. Right, let's make a Hirogen hunting party, just so I can have at least one ability on each, shall we? And then I have to work out what I want to do with the Kecak. Do I want a planetary... No, I don't think I can, hey. be the same as the MF ability Maquis combat rate. Muted, by the way, Obs. Probably aware that you are, but... Oh, there's the Maquis combat rate. Let's go for... MF hunting party. Okay. Now, there are only 2 ship types to spawn, so we've got to remove these. Three of those. 3 of those. Shadow says, I've got a question for you, girl. If you could add any other major race to Star Trek Armada 3, who would it be and why? There's a lot of things that I'd like to do if I... I'd love to see a much more expanded... Let me have a think about it, because there's a lot of things that I'd like to add in an ideal world. Tholian? I think Tholian. I think a vastly expanded Tholian roster would be really interesting, and also because of their relative position in proximity to the Cardassians, etc. They do count as a major power in the Alpha Quadrant, and as such, I think Tholians would be a really interesting one to add. Looking further afield, I'd be kind of interested to expand and extrapolate upon the Kazon. Of course, they're not Alpha or Beta Quadrant, so they wouldn't fit in Star Trek Armada 3, but I think it would be something really cool to see. Are there any other races that might tickle my fancy? Maybe the Gorn. Maybe a full faction of Gorn would be cool. Alright, what was I doing? The Rojan Hunter is going to be the most likely thing that you will see. Attic. Oh no, I did that the right way around. Ooh. The Andorian would be an interesting one in the AOTF time period, but not the STA3 time period, because they didn't really have anything independent by STA3, at least that we're aware of. In much the same way the Vulcans didn't have their own classes of vessels. I think it was all subsumed into the Greater Federation Hall. Yeah, but those would be my choices if those choices were available to me. They're not, so nobody get excited. Placed it in here. As you do. Trojan. There you are. Save that. To manifest. Haven't got much longer for the stream, folks. I've got probably about a quarter of an hour. So if you want to talk about anything in the meantime, then let me know. It's because I've got some family visiting in just a little while. Kazon did steal their things from the trade. I think it's probably fair to assume that there's more kind of architecture that they stole from the trade than that we saw. Whoops. Ah, I've made a mistake. There's your mistake. People were waiting for it. And here it is. Make sure that this area is where I thought it was. Oh, I think if I go back to the the one, the Maquis one, we might well find out why. If we look at the combat raid here, I've got to change the random ship counts. There you go. That should rectify it. Just make sure I've fixed it. Rather have a cup of tea. I don't really like fizzy stuff very much, but yeah, no. Got that as part of a meal deal the other day. Sat on my desk for several days now. Do not like. From a texture point of view, I will be making specifically the iconography for each of these minor faction abilities. If I open this up, just take a look and see what Hobbs is doing. In 3D object converter. Don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Sure, he'll tell me at some point if he comes back. Looks like he's just wiggling it. Yeah, what was I doing? I was going. Thing that I wanted to open up hasn't opened. How irksome. There it is. Right. If I zoom in here, we've now got this little segment for minor faction things. So all I need to do is find an appropriate picture to pop in there with each one of these. And this is going to be like this little bracketed thing down here. That's going to be our minor faction iconography because it suits some of the stuff that we've got up here. Slightly better quality, admittedly. That should work quite nicely. Yeah. Girl's eyes turned green. Did they? My eyes are green. Just not so visibly so. Are they? Just go check that Hobbs knows he's muted. Check this ability. Odyssey and Stowe, don't like it very much. Alright, let's zoom him out. Find our Trojan. Launch offensive raid. Good. And let's confirm that it works as well, because we can. Morning, E.T. Active player. Frigate Federation. One of them. Right, let's spawn a combat raid, and we can kind of send it wherever we want. Let's send it to here. Ignore the Federation sounds.
Prepare the docking bays.
Oh, auto save. One of the weaknesses of these erosion vessels is they don't really have any rear-facing weaponry. That was a mistake. Built any ships yet? Because if you haven't, you're in trouble. At least you're building an ambassador, I suppose. God, these fanatics are slow. Very, very slow. But this should be fun. Good stuff. That works as well. Now, the only thing that we have left to do is to, I think, let's check. Yeah, so we've got at least one ability in everything except for the Kecak. What the hell do we want the Kecak to do? Tell you what, let's lick them up. And they're only going to be memory beta, I imagine. Yeah, here we go. So, Kecak were a civilization of life forms native to the Alpha or Beta Quadrant. We don't know! It would have been the Alpha Quadrant because the Cardassians came into contact with them, so it's not all Beta Quadrant, it's Alpha Quadrant. The Kecak were somewhat unusual compared to other known humanoid creatures for both chemical and societal reasons. They were silicon-based and did not have notable genders. In 2378, the Cardassians discovered the species and made first contact with overtures intended to give the impression that they were protecting the Kecak. The Kecak, under Cardassian manipulation, attacked several starships, including the USS Berkeley, the Vesuvi Dust Cloud, the IKV Jonka in the Belarus star system. The Federation first noted the Kecak's movements based on information gathered by the USS Sovereign in the Nepenthe system. In the Belarus system, a Kecak named Nebulous, how nebulous, told the Sovereign crew that the Kecak story and joined the effort to stop the Cardassian plot at a bonus system, providing the chance for a proper first contact. Course from Bridge Commander. So that doesn't really give us much, unfortunately. So it doesn't kind of tell us what the Kecak might do. Let's see if Hobbs has replied. Oh, the electrician is there. Oh god. Fair dues. Outspoken. Well, that doesn't really give us much about the Kecak. Has anybody got any ideas as to what they might like to see that the Kecak can do as a minor faction? What's up, Hunter? What we can do is we can look at our cheat sheet. Minor faction ability references and just take a quick look. Ability, minor faction. See what we've got that might suit the Kecak. And we do know that the Kecak have integrated their technology into other ships before, so perhaps a faction speed bonus might be suitable for them in improving a particular faction's ships. Also, the minor faction weapon damage bonus could be interesting as well. Culture wouldn't be reasonable, and we've already got several raiding types, so I don't want to give them more raids. They're not going to buy or sell frigates. No, that or minor faction explore nearby planets. Let's see how this works. Apply buff to local orbit bodies within distance. Buff minor faction. This could be an interesting one. Although no, the exploration one I think I'd like to give to either Section 31 or the Obsidian Order. Yeah, we're not going to go for the Explore one here because I think Section 31 of the Obsidian Order is going to have that. The exploration. I think we're going to go for the speed bonus. And maybe also a weapon damage bonus. Both shitty ships? Yes. City ships. We're not going to have those. We haven't got a model for them. And most of our art team, as you can see from what Hobblington is doing over here, our art team are concentrating on Ages of the Federation. Damage bonus, copy here. And speed bonus. Theropod, yeah. Right, let's see how this works. My buff to all firstborn ships and structures. Always perform. Here are the whoopsie daisy, no, don't. Ability. Sock. Open that up and pop that there. Done. What is Ages of the Federation? Well, you'll be able to find it on ModDB. Ages of the Federation is a new mod that we're working on that is set between the kind of the ENT and TOS period. You can see that we're quite with it. Lots going on. And it will focus primarily on the Federation, the Klingons, and the Romulans. We also have a good subsect of minor factions. For example, if this ever opens up correctly, we have Sulaban in there and kind of various other races from that time period. Old school Tholians. Zindi. There you go. If you just look up Ages of the Federation on Google, usually is the first hit, I think. Yes, it is. First hit on Google. And there are various videos that we've done on the development of Ages of the Federation. Right. Just want to see what this buff does specifically. Damage is damage dealing. Yeah, that's fine. That's goes in there. Come back here. Yeah, okay. Ah. No game. Stop. That's Nausicaans. Ah, 4 Years War, like the Axanar 4 Years War, yeah. Very much so. We've taken a little bit of inspiration from Axanar. We started doing an Axanar mod years ago, but because of all the legal trouble, we cancelled it. But now that things look okay, again from a legal standpoint, we decided to push ahead and make a mod that includes some Axanar inspiration, but also some ENT and some TOS inspiration. So we've kind of made our own lore around it. DS9 Reloaded has a lot of screenshots of a lot of ship types and has been going for years now. But I think most of the items or the images that they're posting, they're for other projects. They're not necessarily for DS9 Reloaded itself. It doesn't have any downloads on there, and I don't really see it going anywhere, I'm afraid. Forgive me if you're the producer of DS9 Reloaded, but what's happening with it? What is actually in the game and what is not in the game? You haven't been very clear on that. Alright, George, you have a good one, my man. Try and have a good day. Have another sip of this. Yeah. Still don't like it. Oh, Fern's messaging me. Oh, is this the Vulcan ship? Oh, I'll have a look. Ah, sound! Oh, stop it! Thank you again, Zeddy Films Productions. This is one of the disco ones, isn't it? And I hate it. I don't like it at all. Why purple? These are not Vulcan colours.
Hello.
Alright, Hoblington.
I'm still alive.
I'm just getting enraged by a Stowe Vulcan ship.
Oh, okay. Let me also be enraged.
It's
What era is this Vulcan ship from?
I don't know, the era of eye pain.
Vulcan T'Pau scout ship.
It's fucking. Although, I will say, as a sci-fi ship, it's probably quite nice in its own right, but it's not Vulcan. Like and subscribe to Zeddy Films Productions channel. It's got clearly got some nice stuff going on there, and he checks out Stowe stuff a lot. So, yeah, check out his channel. Thank you very much for neither being asked or agreeing to let me show that during one of my live streams.
Okay, there's a shot a bit later on at about, what's that, 40 seconds in, where you can see the kind of curved engine component bit, which I can get, and at that point in the video the colour's a bit better.
And we also
Just
discussed the Joju.
A lot of the shots, it looks like Covenant purple.
Yeah, it does a bit, doesn't it? I think that's to do with the skybox then.
Yeah.
We also had a look at this one, which is a skin for the Walker class. And I actually mostly like this.
Let's have a look. Skip ahead. Oh, it's all Excelsior-y.
Yeah, and I actually kind of like it. I don't really like the nacelles all that much, but the
Skip ahead so I can see.
And I also don't like the extension on the impulse engines. I think there's too much.
Okay, I really like the front deflector bit.
Yeah, it's cool, that, isn't it?
That's really awesome.
I like the underslung torpedo launcher as well.
I think it could do with being a double rather than a quad, though. That's a bit nuts. Yeah, the impulse engines do come back quite a bit, don't they?
Yeah,
well, I like the bottom of the saucer. They've used that other
Yes,
component that's on a lot of Excelsior kit bashes.
Yeah, I don't massively like the nacelles.
I don't feel there's a need for the mega phasers as well.
Oh, is that what they are? Those pods?
Yeah, so it's got.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that first time round as well. I didn't like the pods.
If you've got on the torpedo arm, the little ones that are on the Reliant, which they're cool, they're fair enough. But then they've made like even bigger ones halfway down on the cells as well.
Yeah,
pylons
they didn't
as
seem
well.
necessary to me.
They kind of look like old fighter planes fuel tanks.
They do a bit, don't they? Yeah.
The,
but in the great
ones that
scheme of things,
jettison
I quite like this.
I like most things Excelsior based, to be honest. I like the colour scheme. I like the blues, very good.
So yeah, there are minor things that we changed, but I don't think this gets any hate from me.
No, not at all. And I mean, we're just very nitpicky though.
Yep. Acceptable job, Stowe. Right, for the Kecoks, I went for a rather than giving them another raid party because a lot of races, a lot of minor factions already have that. Ultimately, I chose to go with a speed boost that would apply to your faction for a limited time by integrating their technology into your ships, as we saw with the Cardassians, and also a short-term weapon damage. Think that's reasonable?
Sounds good to me. I
may
need to
give them
get
some
my head in what I was actually doing before the doorbell went. Well, I was sneaking away and doing a little bit while he was tinkering away.
Yeah, I saw you moving things around. Yeah, what are your thoughts on those ships? Those of you in the chat, tell me what you reckon. I've only got 10 minutes left of this stream, I'm afraid, because, as I say, I do have some family coming over.
That's when my broadband engineer should be here, but probably be early, late, who knows, these people.
Now, there was something else I wanted to do.
I remember what I was doing.
Before we finish the stream, and it's specifically to the Supergiants and Ultra Giants. Because
Super duper mega giants.
I think, and the Neptunians as well. So Neptunian and Ultra Giants, Super Giants. They've got a lot. Sorry for the zooming in and zooming out. I'm just trying to find things. They've typically got a great deal of resource asteroids on them, and they're therefore quite high value from a player point of view. Now, what I'm thinking of doing is I'm thinking of removing the possibility of having a station there, a starbase there, because it means they're a little bit less defendable, and you as a player, you can have more of an impact by going and raiding one of those, because you can probably destroy a lot of mining arrays.
Yeah, it'd be a good little hit and run. You could screw with a bit of economy and then get out quite quick. And then if the player wants to defend it with deploying a starbase, then...
Well, they can't deploy a starbase. I think that's what I'm going for.
Oh, I see what you mean. I thought you meant the random spawnable ones. Or are they completely gone now because of the way...
Yes, they are, yeah.
Ah, okay. Then yes, I agree with that. My brain is working, just
Mine
catching up. It's just so chugging along.
Something here somewhere. I can't remember where. I'll find it. Max starbase count per player. There we are. So we're going to move that to 0 on the Class T Ultra Giant. People are going to get real mad with me about this. On the Super Giant as well.
Much rage.
Because look at the amount of resource asteroids that you can have. 15. Up to 15 resources.
That would be insane.
Yep, so no star bases in those. I think that's probably it. There's like the Class J Transjovian, the Class J Jovian. I think that doesn't have that many asteroids. It has up to 12. We'll leave that as is. Yeah. So that's one of the minor balance changes I've decided to do without Caesar's permission, so he's going to be sad.
Caesar rage.
Was there anything else I wanted to do before? think there was really. So we've got at least one thingy. You know the one.
Yeah, the stuffs and things.
So we've got at least one ability for every minor faction now.
Well, that's good. That's a good
In
start.
some cases, 3 or 4.
Loads while I was away.
So I need to do more for the Obsidian Order, the Tal Shah, and Section 31. But they've got very specific abilities that I think I'm going to need to build from scratch.
Oh, I think I remember hearing one of your ideas, which I like.
Got the Thalaron one for the Tal Shah.
It was a sneaky. I don't know if it was decided we were doing it or not, but the idea was that you could plant a sneaky little bomb on a ship.
That'll be Section 31.
Ah, cool. That would be awesome.
And maybe also the Obsidian Order. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, but they're going to need to be built from scratch. I also need to work out something else for the Nausicans, and indeed the Zakdorn as well. I think I know what I want to do with the Zak. Which is going to be like a direct fleet buff, not something that's across your entire faction, but to a specific fleet.
Yeah, that would be quite cool.
And the Gorn also needs something else as well, which will be a fairly large-scale buff to an individual planet.
Nice.
Which will increase your tax rate quite a lot, and also any population growth rate.
Mm-hmm.
But I suppose the Bajorans could do with something else as well.
Dying.
Be the one. Something to do with, ore processing, maybe. Ore processing experts.
Potentially.
Right, folks. I'm going to call the stream quits now. I do hope that you guys have enjoyed overall, seeing what we're doing. God.
And you only had to put up with me for a little bit of it, so it's great.
I've just looked at my YouTube comments, and the most recent comment 1 hour ago was from somebody called Tarek Chamas, and he simply says, "Mini dump, god damn it." Shit, minimise that. Never happened. There was no mini dump. What are you talking about?
What did you do?
Well, he's on an install video for Star Trek Armada 3 from about 2.5 years ago, and I think that might be the cause.
Ah. Yeah. The time for the massive annotation in the middle saying, "This is outdated, click this one." Nah, let them suffer.
Let's do a quick commit. All these new files in. Shit, what did I actually put in? Dawn, Erogen, Esok. It's allowed Ultra Giant and Super Giants. Planet types. From being able to construct. Oh god. Bases. Alright, that's what we've done there. Let's commit. We'll close that because we need to do a quick pull so I can get whatever you changed.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll push this. Done. There we go. And if you are a member of the Stellar Parallax Discord, you will be able to see any commits that we make down here.
See all the gubbins, all the things, all the stuffs, everything we do. It's mostly me pushing something and then 3 pushes afterwards fixing that thing that I put in before. That's the usual pattern.
So there you go, folks. That is it for today. Thank you very much for joining me, Hobbs. Sorry that I don't have any more
Very
time.
welcome. Yeah, I had
I'm hoping my dear
real
old
life.
parents will buy me some food.
Give me food!
Last time they came over, they brought fish and chips, and it was an incredible day for all involved. Maybe not for them, but it was for me.
Oh, I want fish and chips now.
Oh, there was actually really good fish and chips as well.
Yeah, we've got a local chippy that's very good, but
the local chippies to me aren't great. They're okay, you know. They still sell fish and chips, which helps. But they're not necessarily geared towards fish and chips. Really, they're mostly kind of kebab shops with a side and fish and chips. And typically that reduces the quality a little bit.
Yeah, we've got like a decent traditional fish and chip, but we have to restrict how many times we go, or we'll become fat bastards.
I'm already a fat bastard, so this means nothing. But yeah, they're going to visit a family friend who's not very well, and then they're going to swing by my place afterwards. Last time they brought fish and chips, so I'm just hoping they'll do it again. We didn't discuss it though.
Just silently hoping.
Yeah. Right, folks, thank you so much for watching this little development stream. I know they're not necessarily the most exciting things. It's not a gameplay video or anything, but it's something that I really enjoy doing, and it kind of makes me a captive audience as well. So it kind of forces me to do something for a couple of hours if I'm streaming it as well. I will see you in the next one. Hopefully, we'll have some STA3 gameplay videos soon. Maybe some AOTF ones as well.
Maybe.
Because we're kind of close to a playable-ish thing, aren't we?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, we're not far away at all. I mean, I'm literally picking up the tiniest little niggles and fixing those at the moment. So there's nothing like glaringly missing.
I think there's going to be we're going to need to do some research additions in the respect that we add some breadcrumbs, if you like, for the AI to traverse.
Yes, yeah, that was something that we've uncovered. They might need a bit more of a helping hand.
And the way that we're going to do that is we're going the AI loves unlocking ships. It's his favourite thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to put fake ships at the end of certain research trees for the AI to unlock. And they're going to be like, "Oh, I could do it going down that research tree," and they'll swim down that one.
Yeah.
And that'll ensure that the AI does what we want it to do.
Right, and that's my phone call, so I'm going to have to go.
Folks, well, thank you very much for watching, and thank you, Hobbs, for joining me.